Is there a reason that you're afraid? Or like waking up from?
Guys, look like our orientation is not. I'm not sure. Let us see, inshallah. Allah save us from technology. Anyway. Me and my love-hate relationship with technology. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Would you like to be incarcerated? Would you like to be locked up?
No.
Me either. What if I told you the cage was made out of gold? Would that make it better? Then would you like to be incarcerated? Would you like to be locked up in a cage if the cage was just made out of gold? No, right? I need my freedom. Allahu Akbar. But see how you thought about it. Yeah? Okay, now what if I put like a gaming system in there?
That'd make it easier.
Okay. Now you're starting to see it, right? Okay, so now what is this? So there is a prison, and this prison is very difficult to escape once the person finds himself in it. And the thing about it is like this prison, people put themselves in this prison. That prison is the gilded cage of comfort and convenience. Because what happens? We get so used to comfort and convenience. If you take it away, what happens to the person? Exactly, right? They really, really, really feel it. So it removes, so we become soft. And now we become what? We become dependent on the comfort. We become dependent upon the conveniences. Why? Because think about it. With our cell phones, we're old enough to remember, like, okay, before like the cell phones, we memorized phone numbers and all these different things. Like we knew how to get from point A to point B. We knew like there was 3 different ways of getting there. Yeah, we knew the names of the streets, everything. We were walking, talking, maps, phone books, you name it. MashaAllah. Now, the same people that I'm talking about can't do it, myself included. What happened? The comfort and the convenience of technology. The comfort and the convenience of our smartphones. And now, subhanAllah, now we see that even going into stores and everything with young people, I take cash, and it completely throws them off. They don't know how to respond. Be like, okay, that'll be $48.74, right? Give them $100 bill. They don't know what to do. What buttons to push? Like, what's the math? God forbid if they should have to give you change, right? How many pennies are in 100? Okay. But this is what happens, right? So is there something wrong with him? Yes. Did we become slaves to comfort, slaves to convenience? Meaning we've lost our freedom, haven't we? We've lost our freedom. So this Ramadan, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us this beautiful opportunity to break addictions, or at least to recognize them, like what we're doing right now, right? So, okay, fine. Does that mean like, the cell phone problem for us is solved tonight? No. But if we recognize that it's an issue and what it's doing to us, then we can actually begin the process of mitigating the impact. Meaning like, okay, this is having a negative impact on me. So say, for instance, there's certain numbers I know I need to memorize. I need to make sure I memorize those, right? Which means that now I got to step outside of my comfort zone. And this is where things become very difficult for people, is that when you're requesting to step outside of their comfort zone, okay? And the more, it's just like any addict, the more addicted they are to comfort and convenience, okay, the more they lack control in their own personal lives and their own thinking. Okay? So, where's the problem in this? The problem in this is that once that addiction has been identified by anybody who wants to manipulate you for any reason, good or bad, yes, because there is manipulation to do good. We do it with kids all the time, right? Like, eat all your vegetables and you can have cake after dinner, right? That's manipulation. Like, call it what it is. It's manipulation. I need you to eat these vegetables because you need the nutrients, you need the vitamins, you need the minerals. You're growing. You're like, you don't appreciate it the way you appreciate sugar, but that's your immaturity. Okay? But the maturity is, I'm now going to manipulate the child in order to do khair, to do good. All right? So now, what did we use in the case of the child? Is there an addiction there? Of course there is. Is the addiction is to what? Sweets. Once the parent identifies that, and maybe it's not sweets. Sometimes it's like, maybe you have like me, was going outside. You want to go outside? Okay, great. You want to go play with your friends? Mow the lawn first. Great, fine. I got to mow the lawn. Why? So I can go outside and go play with my friends. But like once you have keyed in on that thing that is important to that person is addicted to, I got to have that thing. Now you can manipulate that individual. You can control that person. So what happens is that now once we have become addicts to these devices, then now it becomes very easy for us to become manipulated because of the addiction. The addiction to what? Comfort and convenience. It's made us soft. So now that addiction to comfort and convenience, what does it do to us? Well, it makes us less dynamic. Because now what we're doing is we have a dependency upon things to be dynamic for us, which means that we are losing depth of personality. We are losing substance as the human race, right? As society, as cultures, when we actually are not engaging the way that we, let's say, organically or naturally would, which is a beautiful thing while you're here, because this is what we're doing. It's like, in essence, is bringing that back alive, right? Or otherwise, like, we have our guests and they could be, you could be looking at stuff on YouTube, right? I'm not going to the mosque. I'm just going to look at some stuff on YouTube and see what type of madness is on there. And like, it's all kinds of craziness, but you could have went that route. It's comfortable. It's convenient. You can do it from your own home, but you had to step outside of your comfort zone. Okay, and step into an unfamiliar place with unfamiliar culture, unfamiliar customs, all right, and do what? So that you can learn. You can experience firsthand. That's depth. That's substance. You can't get that from the internet. You can't get that from YouTube. It's not going to happen. So for us as Muslims, when we're looking at the quality of life, as they call it, right, and we're looking at, for us individually and also collectively, what do we consider substance in the first place? And are we people of substance? Meaning, what do we value? Because if we're not careful, what's happening is that the things that we should be valuing, we are not valuing. And the things which are really not important, we are overvaluing. And it's driven by what? Again, once you keep people in and you understand them, it's easy for manipulation. It's all based on selfishness, based on egos. If you think about every division that exists in the human race today, because it's the human race, outside of those differences that basically God has placed in us and through us, right? Please, because I might be wrong. So we got a couple of minutes here. So I just want to check. Please, if you got to decide the color of your skin when you were born, just raise your hand. Okay. Did you do? Okay, fine. How about this? If you got to decide the country that you were going to be born in, raise your hand. There. How about that one? Nobody. Dang. All right. Did anybody decide their parents? No. Oh well. Okay. What about you? Did you get to decide whether you had rich parents or poor parents? No. Okay. Who decides this then? God. So when we talk about like, oh, I am better than you, or I hate you, or I'm this, it really, does it have anything like we're talking about something that wasn't even decided by us? We're taking credit for something, becoming arrogant for something, criticizing, becoming judgmental, or looking down upon somebody over something that none of us have anything to do with. And in essence, what it becomes is a critique of God. I'm being critical of God. God made this person brown or black, or this person from this country, or this person from this family, or that family name, or from this social fear in society, whatever the case may be. These are decisions that are not made by you and I. And then those aspects which are left up to us, which is, as we were just talking before, right? The content of your character. You and I get to decide that. How you are, who you are, how you respond and react in situations and conditions. That is up to you as an individual. And that determines who you really are, regardless of your ethnicity, regardless of your language, regardless of the color of your skin, regardless of your social class. It doesn't matter. You get to decide. It's yours to own. But we sell it for a miserable price, for the accept of social validation, cultural norms, customs that even like in this country we've seen, like for those of us who are old enough, like even the things that we've seen as far as societal norms in America, how they have shifted, dramatically just in the past few decades. What is normalized now would have never been considered just a few decades ago. Right? And I'm not saying to the good or to the bad. What I'm saying is that process of change that is taking place, meaning you're attaching yourself onto something that has no anchor. So if I need social validation and society, and what society will validate or normalizes as that changes, right? If I don't change with that, then I am no longer validated. So that means I have to constantly keep doing what? I have to constantly keep making these adjustments. And then what happens within the society, and you can see this is sociology, anthropology. Then what happens in society is that we reach an age, and this is something that's physiological, all right, where your brain is just like gets this, it's certain mile markers in our lives, where your brain actually says, that's enough change. Not changing anymore. And then, but society goes on. The younger generations go on. And now it seems foreign. It seems alien. Again, I'm not saying to the good. I'm not saying to the bad. I'm just saying in change. So how do we respond to that? Again, it's going to be based on what? Do you have that freedom, that independence, that substance of deciding the content of your character, who and how you are in those conditions, in that society? Or have you, due to, again, the need and the greed for social validation, right, and social acceptance, because of these addictions, comfort and convenience, because of all of these things that now, again, they become platforms, they become a means, they become nodes of manipulation. Have you attached yourself onto this, and now you go whichever way the wind blows? And I'll end with this. Would you believe the same thing that you believe today if you had been born to different parents in a different country and your skin color was different? Wherever you're from, just flip it to the other side of the world, like just to make it easy. If you're from the north, say you're from the south. If you're from the south, say you're from the north. From the east, from the west. I'm talking about the planet, by the way, right? If you're from the west, say you're from the east, and just switch it. Who are you now? That's something to think about. Was it chance? Or are you making a decision? Right? Don't criticize God for the decisions of God when that diversity is actually supposed to bring us together. We're supposed to appreciate it. We're supposed to see the beauty in the diversity. The same way, like we have a fruit salad, we appreciate it. You see a buffet, we appreciate it, right? You see a bouquet of flowers, we appreciate that diversity. You see a forest, you don't want to see one tree, you want to see all kinds of trees. You appreciate the diversity. Everything, the human being that we encounter, we appreciate diversity until it comes to us. And those things which are specifically, uniquely associated with me. Now, if you are different, now because that thing's associated with my ego, my sense of self, my identity, and now that thing, I feel threatened. So now I have to do what? have to compete. Who's better than who? Am I better than you? Are you better than me? Are you and I fit to decide? Or is that something we should be leaving to God? And in Islam, we say, yes, we leave it to God. I don't know what's in your heart. You don't know what's in mine. I don't know what you do in your private time and when you're alone, like in those private spaces, and you don't know what I do. But God sees it all and he knows it all. And we're held accountable and we will be judged by it. So forget about all the madness, forget about this incessant need for social validation. Forget all of this, this likes and followers, and forget all the comfort and convenience for a moment and consider at the time when you die and for all of eternity, who do you want to be? How do you want to be considered? Not by human beings necessarily, but by the creator of the universe himself. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bring out all of our beautiful qualities and attributes and all of the sicknesses that we have, whether individually or collectively. May he heal those sicknesses in our hearts, in our minds, in our cultures, and in our society, in our families, and in our interactions and our relationships with one another. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guard us and guide us and use us as a means of hidayat, a means of guidance for the whole of the humanity. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bring peace into our lives through our interactions, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save us from the aggression of the greedy, the aggression of the stingy, the aggression of the selfish. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Sallallahu ta'ala ala khayri khalqihi sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in bi rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen bi rahmatika nasta'in. Jazakumullahu khairan jazaa.
Allahu Akbar.